Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Tune Machine. I am Andy Hot Body Dawson.
And I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
It's another beginning of another chart. Last time out we did a 1999 chart, which of course we always hate doing.
I don't know why we set the boundaries, and we set them between 1970 and the year 2000.
Yeah,
but the truth is, we basically weren't like ones between 75 earliest and 1987, 88 latest. That's what we really want.
But then again, I suppose, as you pointed out last time when we looked at it, there was some quite good stuff in it. So
actually, I'm wrong about that. Of course, I missed out the 90s there, and the Euro 96 one is up there in our top ever.
Oh, of course,
The top ever are your Euro 96, your 1984, and your 1978. Of the ones we've done so far, I think those are the ones that stand out in my memory. Not that I want to fall into accidentally doing a deep dive into our own podcast, but I'm passionate about doing Tune Machine. I love doing it. I look forward to it, and I get particularly excited if there's a good chart. So let's hope there's a good chart this week.
Well, let's go over now to the random pop blob, which lurks in the corner of the room here, in its cage. It has been freshly moisturised with one of those misting sprays that I use to keep it moist and active. And let's just see which chart it's going to give us. Random blob. Use your gob.
Use your gob. Tell us how to
do our job.
Ooh.
1974. You just mentioned 1975 as being the beginning of
that was the year I was born, and I'm not saying it's for that, but I just sort of think, I don't know, like that's I have more knowledge.
Are you trying to say you were born chart aware?
Yeah,
came out of the womb.
No, I was about to say that it's got nothing to do with me being born, because I wasn't chart aware. But from my experience of doing these charts, it feels like the music is more exciting and to our tastes and interesting. There in the early 70s, to be honest, there's just too many fucking songs I've never heard of.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a bit like 1999, where there'll be some great stuff in there and some other stuff we've never heard of.
Some weird shit.
One or two, I've had a glimpse at it, one or two which are, let's be honest, fucking problematic as fuck.
I bet I know the one you're talking about, because my eyes have fallen onto number 34 immediately, and I'm thinking, oh dear.
Yes, that's the one. I wonder if youngsters these days, you'd probably have to ask your daughter maybe, and I'd have to ask mine. I wonder if the youngsters are chart aware these days. No, do the charts play any factor at all? I don't even think they know
what the charts are.
No. There's no. They're still on the radio every Sunday or whatever at 5 p.m. on Radio 1, but no one really knows why.
No cunts listening. We've always said as well, though, we've talked about this before, is that you can't really get an honest answer out of a teenager, because whatever you say to them, whatever you ask them about, they will just instinctively start turning into, no one does that anymore. No one, shut up, that's from the 80s. Yeah. No one does that anymore. But you can literally say anything at all. Like, would you like a cup of tea? No one drinks tea. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally anything you say, they try to make out is just some really archaic practice or kind of throwback tradition from the oldie times.
Do you get in the bus into town later on? Bus!
Town?
No one gets buses.
No one calls it town. Well, what do they fucking call it then? Well, I don't know, but certainly not town. It's not the 80s.
I don't go. I don't go. If I did go, I wouldn't go on the bus.
How do you get there then? That's my business.
I had a situation. I went and visited my daughter at university in Scotland last week for a couple of days, and when I was up there, she said, "Oh, you'll have to bring my brother up on a visit so he can, check it out and see what it's all about." And that, I says, "Oh yeah, that'd be nice. We'll try and organise that for half term, which is coming up in a couple of weeks' time. We'll be off school for half term." So the other day I texted her. I said, "Okay, if we come up on the Thursday and Friday of half term for a couple of days." "No, I don't want you to come. You've just been. I need some time on my own."
Fuck off.
You said we could come.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. I said a lot of things.
Yeah.
Said a lot of things. Who knows what I've said and what I haven't said? No one. No one's keeping a record.
Oh God! I'm like, right, okay, fair enough. We won't come then. So there you go. Anyway, let's not sit here complaining about our children.
Although I do feel that that's quite popular content amongst the listeners, especially those who are fellow parents
of children.
But we'll do a spin-off, just like, Parent Time Machine or something.
Well, let's have a look at this top 40 then and see what we can pick out of it, because there's plenty going on in it. We'll start at the beginning at number 40. Number 40 in the chart this week, down 4 places, it's Paul McCartney and Wings and Jet. Yet another cacophony of noise from the former Beatle, the least best Beatle, I think. And I think it is. Time's got to be up soon in the world of popular music.
He's always struck me as rather too soft. Like kind of kid you might have called a fairy at school. Plus, I've heard rumours about him enjoying drug cigarettes, which I don't approve of at all. In fact, I've made a few calls to my friends. I
wouldn't be surprised if he's languishing in a Japanese jail in the next 18 months.
I've got a few friends amongst the Japanese police force who I've tipped off. Don't ask me why. I mean, a lot of interesting people at my local lodge meetings. Let's just say that and leave it there. Right.
My local lodge is twinned with one in Japan.
It's a nice setup we've got, actually. It's been quite mutually beneficial, especially when it comes to framing people. 39. At 39, up 2 places. It's The Intruders. I wonder what they're intruding. I would like to know. I'll always love my mama. Well, word of warning, don't try to intrude your mother because it's against illegal. The law.
I'll be informing the police, Japanese and UK.
Although there are some lads at the lodge who do say that they've done it and never looked back. We play by our own rules, of course.
Maybe they contributed to this song. They're down one at number 38. Satisfaction guaranteed. By Harold Melvin and the Blue Note. And I guess looking at number 37, there could be a link there as well.
At number 37, down 5 places, The Sting by Ragtimers. Well, I think we all have experienced that in our time.
Oh, God. And not necessarily when we've been loving our mamas.
Be careful, though, because some of these older women, they're not up on the latest hygiene trends.
Down 2 places at number 36, it's Barbara Streisand, the beautiful, fragrant, talented Barbara Streisand.
The beautiful Jewess. Wonderful, wonderful lady. And wonderful to lend diversity to the chart too.
Absolutely. Down to with The Way We Were. I suppose that's the way we were before we started loving our mamas.
At number 35, it's a new entry for those horrible Scots children, the Bay City Rollers, with a song called Shang a Lang, which is obviously some sort of Scottish colloquialism that means God knows what, but probably refers to drugs.
Probably drugs, yeah. Down 5 places at number 34, it's Ringo Starr, another Beatle, and You're 16.
Interesting.
I shared a large brandy with Ringo in the BBC bar the other day, and he told me, he assured me that this song is about a vintage car that he's recently purchased.
Yeah,
you're 16, you're beautiful, and you're mine. I had no further questions for Mr. Starr.
I believe you, Ringo. You're always my favourite Beatle. You're a stand-up guy. But I would say, whether it's a car or, let's just say anything, make sure you've got the documentation to prove it before you take any steps you may regret.
Double-checked and maybe triple-checked.
Hold the ID up to the light as well. Because nowadays it's amazing what you can do with a typewriter and some Letraset. 33, down, 13 places. Whoa. The New Seekers with I Get a Little Sentimental Over You, featuring Lynn Paul. Pathetic.
I see. Lynn Paul has made some kind of power grab there, I think, for leadership of the New Seekers. But we'll see how that works out for her. Down 8 places at number 32, it's the Hollies with The Air That I Breathe. Beautiful air, full of smoke, gasoline, and lead-filled petrol.
Well, that's when you do come into the city, which unfortunately we have to for some of our media commitments, but it's why I moved out to leafy Surrey, where there's a better class of air as well as a better class of person. And no, it's not to do with ethnic creed, although I would say that it is, in my village, it is entirely white.
But that's completely coincidental. We're very welcoming, and the air is simply tinged with the whiff of cow shit.
Anyone is welcome to come to our village as long as they're willing to play by our rules and pay their taxes and work. It's very simple.
Play ball or get back to the city.
And breathe in lead. And I believe that's what the Hollies were trying to communicate via this song. I'd like to think so anyway. At number 31, I Can't Stop, claim the Omens. Well, try bloody harder.
Down 8 places at number 30, The Carpenters. And they're singing about jambalaya. A delicious food stuff, I believe.
Yeah, it's food stuff from the tropical world.
Tropical islands.
You know the problem I've had with irritable bowel syndrome, so I have to steer clear of the spicy stuff, unfortunately.
I've had it made. Basically, it's peppers, it's celery, and it's all cooked up in some lilt.
Sounds like a lot of fun, but count me out. I'll stick to steak and a baked spud, thanks. 29, down 6 places. It's the Wombles. What a wonderful bunch of guys the Wombles are. We've had them in the BBC bar as well, and they're tremendous fun. Their new song is called simply Wombling Song. Good luck to you all.
I've heard a rumour that the Wombles are actually human men in suits, but I don't believe them for a minute.
I think that's
nonsense.
I think that's cynicism and bitterness from people who are just jealous of their success.
Nope.
I happen to know they're real Wombles, and if you're listening, great Uncle Bulgaria, you still owe me £5.
They've been reared since they were chicks. They've been humanised in a zoo and trained, and then released gently into normal human life. And they're doing a wonderful job. And the critics need to back down.
And they were actually fed and reared by their mothers, who would take food, chew it up themselves, and then spit it into their beaks. And it's wonderful to see a mother nurture a young Womble in that manner. When we had our first daughter, I insisted that my wife do the same when we moved her on to solids, but she refused, and now neither of them will ever see me.
They never see you, they don't speak to you, and it's almost directly as a result of that.
Chew it up and spit it in her mouth. She can't chew it herself, she's a child. Chew it for her, you lazy cow.
You're the mother. You're meant to do it.
I've just smoked 4 Cuban cigars. I can't chew it. It'll be covered in my tobacco-y spit.
Do you want to give her cancer? No.
These are the basics of parenting, woman.
Up 5 places at number 28, the 3 Degrees.
Oh.
Do you have a favourite 3 degree, mate?
I like the one in the middle, mate.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I call her.
I'd go 2, 3, then 1, I think.
I can see you put a lot of thought to it, mate, and I respect you for that.
Then 2 again. The 3 Degrees, and they are singing Year of Decision.
Well,
I've kind of made my decision about the 3 Degrees, which I just verbalised to you there a moment ago.
unfortunately, through a combination of my wife's, quite frankly, spiteful lawyers and separate situation I've got going on with HMRC, all my key decisions have been taken out of my hands. Isn't that wonderful? Thanks, Mr. Callahan. Okay, 27, Behind Closed Doors by a gentleman called Charlie Rich. Best to keep anything, whether it's One Ball related, 3 Degrees related, or indeed anything to do with your mother. Keep it all behind closed doors, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. Your personal choice is your personal choice.
And if it does hurt someone else and it's not physical, say, for example, it's emotional, well, you know, you can get over that kind of thing quite quickly.
Oh, come on, that's just not real harm.
Just press it down, forget about it, put it into your memory bank and shut the door. Up 5 places at number 23.
My father used to say, son, if words could hurt, they'd ban the fucking dictionary. And he was right about that.
Up 5 at 23, it's that carrot-haired sexual pervert, David Bowie. And obviously he's a degenerate song here called Rock and Roll Suicide. Maybe you should kill yourself, Mr. Bowie. Then we'll see how things look.
Then we'll see if you've got quite so much to say for yourself. Really does have a lot to say for himself, that guy. Sick of the sight of him and sound.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
Right, where are we? Sure.
22.
Yeah, 22. Okay, let's just see. I've had a little bit of an issue here. Okay, 22. Long live love, says the beautiful and fragrant Olivia Newton-John. Well, don't worry, because my love for you, Miss Newton-John, is truly immortal.
Yes, and I'd like to say this to you, Miss Newton-John, if you're listening. My love is very long.
My love has a huge girth.
I don't think you'll be disappointed, let's say. I mean, she's from Australia, so the standard there is fairly low, I believe. Still at number 21, Refusing to Move, is Genesis, those hippies, I guess, led by a man wearing a fox mask. And this is called I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe. Keep out of my wardrobe. Keep out of my business. Get off my land, Genesis.
You fox-faced fuck. And if you come to my village dressed as a fucking flower, you'll have Surrey justice dished out to you. And believe me, with my friends at the lodge behind us, there is nothing that we can't get away with or cover up.
You might have said too much there, maybe.
Sorry, we'll try and edit that bit out. That number 20, seriously, the lads at the lodge are real stand-up guys, and they'll appreciate this banter.
Each other's backs. Yeah.
At number 20, down up 11 places. Oh, bloody hell, Stevie Wonder, he's still hanging around. The supposedly blind singer from America. He's Mr. Know-It-All. Can't even spell Mr. And he is a bloody know-it-all, this character. I wish he'd shut up and stop pretending to be blind. We can all perfectly see that he's able to see. If not, how can he play the drums?
He's Mr. See-It-All, if you ask me.
Yeah. The joke's over and your scam's been rumbled. Withdraw from public life, Wonder.
We've got a so-called blind back-to-back here because we've got Peters and Lee at number 19. Going up 19 places with Don't Stay Away Too Long.
To me, blindness has just become a bandwagon that everyone's jumping on and laying claim to. Number 18, Mungo Jerry are singing about long-legged woman dressed in black. Interesting, mysterious. I like the sound of it.
Yeah,
are you a leg man, mate?
About that.
Are you a leg man, mate, or do you prefer a nice ass?
I really like ladies with long legs.
Yeah, lovely. Me too. The sort that can coil around you like a snake.
Down 3 places at number 17. It's Queen, 7 Seas of Rhye. And I don't see much of a career for these guys. Obviously, the state of the guitarist
He's a mess.
His hair curling out all over the place. Refuses to get it cut. The singer seems to be a great masculine young man. They're very lithe. Moves around very effortlessly around the stage.
If it doesn't work out for them, he's certainly the sort of guy that I could chuck some cash work to for just general maintenance around my lodge in Surrey. There's always a snag list, and he seems like the sort of capable guy who could come round in a tool belt and sort it all out for me. And like I say, I'm happy to cut out the tax man and pay him cash. Number 16, up 2 places for Mott the Hoople with the golden age of rock and roll. Well, I tell you what, that's not now. Not with cunts like you hanging around the hit parade.
I'm trying to work out what moment we... we've missed out a bunch of songs.
Yeah, we did. I noticed that earlier, but I just left it.
Charlie Rich was
he
number
was the
27.
Problem. He was the problem. He threw
Did we
you.
do that one?
We did Charlie Rich.
He's got 2
but
songs.
Then there was another Charlie Rich, and that's why we skipped out in between, because your eyes went to Charlie Rich and just read the song above it, you see?
Oh, my God. 26th rated new entry, Wizard, Rock and Roll Winter. Next.
At number 25, it's Marvin Hamlisch. Sounds worryingly German, with The Entertainer.
Okay, back at 16, the golden age of rock and roll, Mott the Hoople.
No, I've just done that, mate.
You've done that one.
So you do the next one.
I'll do the next one. Down 5 places at number 15, it's Paper Lace. Billy, don't be a hero. Maybe Billy wants to be a hero. There's not enough heroes around these days. There's too many people standing around forming committees and discussing everything, when sometimes someone just needs to get hold of a plank of wood and start leathering the fuck out of someone who won't shut up.
I was having to go through an inner city area in a taxi on my way for a lunch appointment recently. It was evening time, and I did see an elderly woman being accosted by 3 street thugs who knocked her about a bit and stole her handbag. And I did say to the taxi driver, I'm willing to be a hero. Please pull over so I can intervene. But he said there was just nowhere convenient to pull over, mate, so I had to continue. But
Pathetic.
For the record, the will was there to perform some heroics. It just wasn't logistically possible. And I was running slightly late for the lunch as well.
Pathetic. Is it so wrong to slowly drive up to a bus stop where some teenagers are lurking, wind your window down and throw some rocks at them from a pre-prepared bag, thereby preventing any crimes they're about to commit? Is that so wrong?
We've all got a social duty to do exactly what you've described as regularly as possible.
Okay.
At number 14, it's Hot Chocolate with Emma.
Well, yeah. What place is at number 13?
I've got nothing to say about those guys. I don't like them. And frankly, I don't like the name Emma. That's to do with the situation I experienced in my adolescence with a lady who, let's just say, let me down badly.
Let's just say this chart does not trust Hot Chocolate. That's all we're going to say. We've seen them up close. We've experienced some of their movements, and we don't trust them. Down 1 place at number 13, it's Bill Haley and his Comets, the man who invented rock and roll way back when. This is the 1974 remix, I don't know, of Rock Around the Clock.
Lovely to see him back. Thought he was dead. Maybe he is. Who knows? And I don't care. At number 12, down from 7, it's a great guy, wonderful guy, stand-up guy. Actually was best man at my 4th wedding. Remember me this way with the one, the only, Gary Glitter. Give him a knighthood, Mom. It's what the country wants.
Life and soul of the party, Mr. Glitter. Remember me this way. I wonder how Gary will be remembered in years to come.
Quite simply, as an exuberant force of nature.
A force for good.
And on his gravestone, I hope it says, here lies Gary Glitter. Pure excitement, pure entertainment, pure love.
I
a
think
man
you're
you
going
can
to see.
depend on.
That's going to be one of the most elaborate headstones you'll ever see.
Well,
I
that's
guarantee
what he
you that.
wants, because he's asked me to personally take care of things once he passes over to the other side.
Let's hope that's not for many, many decades.
Nah, he'll keep going for a long while yet.
Yeah, he can't be stopped.
He can't.
Up 2 places at number 11. Little Jimmy Osmond.
I
Great to see a
believe
young
Gary's
kiddie
good
in the
friends
show.
with him. I've
believe
certainly
he is.
seen him hanging around the
Good to see
BBC
some
bar in
little
his
kiddies.
proximity.
Good to see the little kiddies in the Top of the Pop studio. Up to, Little Jimmy Osmond. I'm going to knock on your door. I wonder if he said that to Gary Glinner, or vice versa.
I can tell you, if you come to my lodge in Surrey and knock on my door without a prior report appointment, there is a chance that I will appear from the upstairs window and pour boiling hot oil onto your head. So it's much better to call ahead. I would hate to scar you for life, little Jimmy Osmond, with boiling hot oil, but I've done it before, and like I say, the lads at my lodge were brushed it under the carpet very efficiently indeed.
Okay.
What's next? Number 10.
Number 10.
A walking miracle. Libby and the family cooking. See, they've spent the word there, cooking, without a G, but an apostrophe on the end. I, for one, find that deeply offensive.
And also walking in the title of the song.
Yeah, disgusting. They've done it
reprobates.
twice.
Look, I'm not taking this. I'm going to ban
Good.
Libby and
I
the
was
family
hoping you
cooking.
would.
If you're listening to this, Libby, and or the family cooking, if it's just the family cooking listening, please pass this on to Libby as and when you see him or her. But you are unceremoniously banned. I ban thee! There.
We don't need their type. Okay.
Up 2 places at number 9. It's the Cheelites and a homely girl. It's good to have a girl who stays at home and doesn't want to go out parading herself around
No.
for other men.
For other men to feast upon with their horrible eyes. A lot of girls don't realise that's what's happening to them when they're out and about, and they don't understand why it's a man's duty and right to, if necessary, lock them in the basement so they for their own protection. Number 8, up 1 place. It's Sunny with doctor's orders. Yeah, you had some doctor's orders recently, didn't you, mate? To wear looser pants and apply that cream on a more regular basis.
Yep, and he also said make some lifestyle changes, but I'm not prepared to go into what that means. I'm also not prepared to make the changes.
Well,
So
you're
there you
your
go.
own boss, and these quacks...
Exactly.
These quacks get off on telling us what to do, just like the socialists. I consider all doctors to be part of the socialist conspiracy.
Yep, my body is my own independent republic. Keep your hands off it, docs.
What if I want to smoke? What if I want to drink? What if I want to gamble? What if I want to eat nothing but bacon? That's my right. My grandfathers fought in the war for that right, and I will stand by it. Plus, I don't believe a single word of the science behind this anti-smoking fad. Right. Every
prove
day,
it, I say.
Every Day by Slade is at number 7, and every day is what is the regularity with which I choose to eat bacon and smoke cigars.
Yeah, and look at you. You're in the prime of your life.
I feel
Rude
fighting
health.
fit. It's true that my ankle and left foot swelled up to the size of a fucking watermelon earlier this year. The doctors believed it to be something called gout. I, of course, ignored them, knowing them to be socialists. I actually ended up taking a Stanley knife to my own foot myself, immediately releasing 4 litres of pus from the ankle and foot area. I treated it with alcohol, wrapped it in bandages, and now, although, yes, I do have to use crutches to get everywhere, I've never felt better, and my foot is almost back to normal size.
And not only did you do that with your foot, you gave the pus to me, which I put onto my borders, and my daffodils have never bloomed better than they do.
They're
So
looking
well done,
better than
everyone.
ever. You're fucking welcome.
A page out of the book of the Good Life there, which we all enjoy watching on the
Absolutely
BBC.
right, for one obvious reason, but let's move on.
2, I think. Down 1 place at number 6, Diana Ross and Marvin Gaye. Double trouble there, and they're singing You Are Everything.
Well, there you go. I leave them to it, I say. Down at 1 place at 5, it's the Glitter Band, our old friend Gary again, but this time with his mob of pals with a song called Angel Face. Interesting.
Well, this is actually the band without Gary involved, and I think they'll regret distancing themselves from Gary.
They distance themselves from him. Okay, I see.
I can't imagine
Interesting.
why. And I think they're going to look back on that decision with a lot of regret somewhere down the line, when no one's buying their records anymore. Up for at number 4, it's those pesky Wombles again, and they're saying, remember, you're a Womble. Well, I'm not a Womble, you're not a Womble either, mate, but I do remember them.
Sometimes I wish I was. Sometimes I look out at Wimbledon Common and think I could imagine myself living there. Sure, it'd be
Wobbling
chilly,
around.
but I'd feel free, and I'd be flying under the radar of the increasingly Big Brother state.
And the HMRC.
I happen to know
aforementioned.
that Great Uncle Bulgaria has never paid a single penny of tax in his life. Not to say that he's a selfish man, he contributes a lot to community projects and charities. But that's his choice, it's not the government's.
Down one place at number 3, Mud, with The Cat Crept In. I have a severe allergy to felines, and if the cat crept into my house, I'd take a spade to it immediately.
I just plain hate cats. They get hair everywhere. They purr, which I find obnoxious and smug. And I find them to be judgmental creatures. So I can't lay claim to having any allergies as such, beyond the fact that I will become very angry in their presence. So I'm like you, but I actually set glue traps for the local cats.
I regard cats as being women's pets, so they're not for me.
I don't have a woman in my house, and therefore I don't have a cat in one. I set glue traps for women too these days. Anyone who comes near my house who isn't a close personal friend from the lodge will find themselves promptly super glued to the path. And they will have to stay there until the local constabulary come and fit them up. Arrest them. Right. At number 2, up a whopping 15 places. It's this peculiar outfit from Sweden called ABBA with a song about Waterloo.
Yep. Don't know what that's about, but
I don't know what's going on between those four, but it doesn't. The Swedes have peculiar habits and lifestyle choices. Let's put it that way.
Let's put that one down as probably a novelty hit. Move on. To number 1, where it's still Terry Jacks with Season in the Sun. Terry Jacks, I think, will be around for a lot longer than bloody ABBA, put it that way. Great song, great guy. Top of the pops.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Lovely to see a Terry doing well in the charts for once.
There we are, that's the chart. And, we've run out of time, so we'll have a proper look at it next week, or 2 weeks, whenever it is we do it. We go in and listen to some of these songs before we talk about them. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.